Hello everyone, it's Nanny Moo Moo, by herself today as Papa Dunk has to work. I'm here at All Saints Church in Tilford for a bit of an explore of the church itself, as well as the very quintessential village of Tilford. I'm taking an opportunity of some dry weather. We've had quite an awful lot of rain recently. Papa Dunk and I discovered Tilford by accident. It's not that far from where we live. It's in south west of Surrey. Not that far from Farnham. When we discovered it, as we were trying to make our way home, it was a summer's day with cricket being played on the green. This church was consecrated in 1867, but before then it was also served as a cemetery. And just taking an eyeball of some of the gravestones, it looks like there are some older burial plots as well as newer burial plots. And certainly I would imagine that families associated with Tilford would have been buried here. Let's take a look inside the church, and then, weather permitting, we'll come and have a better explore of the outside. And first coming into the church, it has a wonderful homely feel to it. There are a couple of features within the church that I'd like to see closer up. And this is the quilt, which was made to celebrate 150 years. This church also holds recitals, mostly the music of Bach. What a very fitting setting. The church has 4 bells. And the font and some absolutely wonderful stained glass windows. And here is a memorial plaque for Diana Hope Roden, who worked for SOE during World War II, was captured and killed on the 6th of July 1944, aged only 29. The Roden family were connected with Tilford. And here we have the Anderson window, which was commissioned by the Anderson family, which were the main benefactors for the church. The organ is of the Edwardian period, 1907. And was renovated in 2014. And the inscription on the pulpit here is, "Behold, I bring you good tidings." The main altarpiece, the impressive organ again, so very, very peaceful. Rupert Anderson and his brother William played for England as footballers in the 1880s. Some wonderful memorials on the walls here, which makes you want to do a bit more research about the history. Agnes Chapman, May 28th, 1906. I wonder who Agnes Chapman was. If you know, why don't you let us all know in the comments on this video? I just love stained glass windows, the craftsmanship and the dedication and hard work that must go into creating such wonderful pieces of art. Here is the memorial for George Thomas Nicholson. Again connected with the village, but wonderful arts and crafts, decorations around the inscription. The Wares were another prominent family within Tilford. The church also has a connection to HMS Tilford, which was in service in Southeast Asia in the 1960s. So it's very clear to me that All Saints here in Tilford is a much loved and cared for church. And certainly, while it's not the oldest church that Papa Dunk and I have visited, it certainly has a lot of history to it. Thank you, All Saints. And as always, I'll be leaving a donation to help you with the upkeep. As you can see, it's quite an extensive graveyard, nestled into some woodland. But before we look more in detail at the graveyard, I just wanted to take a little walk along this path to the War Memorial. And the names of the men of Tilford who fought in the Great War. And here the names who lost their lives in the Second World War. So we're moving back up into the cemetery. Not sure that I'll be able to find the Anderson graves. There is a very useful map in the church if you have someone who is buried here or associated with the church. So if you are in Tilford looking up your family histories, then there is a lot of information both within the church and online. This is a Commonwealth war grave site. So if your family history extends that far, then I'm sure there are records of who is buried here at All Saints. So here is the Ware family gravesite. You can see up there the 4 bells that I mentioned inside the church. And here is the Anderson family plot. You might be able to just make out those inscriptions. So that was a rather interesting visit to All Saints Church. Very much recommended that you do take time, if you are in Tilford, to have a slow and gentle meander around the church. Now going to go and have a quick look at the Tilford Green, where a lot of cricket is played during the summer. I'm filming this in February, so not much cricket being played at the moment, not in the UK at least. Let's see what we can find. On the green, I know there are some very old oak trees. So here we are in the green. And you can see how Tilford is nestled into a lovely landscape. You can see here the cricket pitch, part of it at least, which has been gated off, fenced off. And in the distance, the barley mow, which was sort of a clubhouse for the cricketers. Very good reputation. But if you are thinking of eating there during busy periods, I think you should probably book in advance. And here we have a wonderful building, the Tilford Institute, erected in memory of Charles Anderson of Waverley Abbey. designed by Lutyens, I believe. And here we are at the Tilford oak that is over 800 years old. A bit of reinforcement, I have to say, keeping the old girl up. So you can see here on the green how much rain we've had recently. Part of the road around the green is flooded. Cars driving very carefully. Or not so carefully, as may be the case. So we're going to end this video by just taking a look, if we can, at a bridge which I believe was built by the Waverley monks around the 13th century or sometime then. Of course, has been repaired extensively over the period up to the present. You can see all the lying water. And this is where the River Wey North meets with the River Wey South. Very soggy underfoot. You can see how much the river has risen. And where Papa Dunk and I live, we're near a tributary of the River Wey. So, one of our favourite rivers. So that's it for Tilford. A wonderful village to visit if you are walking or perhaps investigating your family history. If you do visit in the summer, I would suggest you get here very, very early because it is a very popular place for visitors. So from Nanny Moo Moo, that's all for now. It's bye for now. It's bye for now.